We're going to start with our keynote. Ron Bonacci, who's VP of Marketing and Advertising at Weis Markets. When I spoke to Mark just a few weeks ago about the work that he's doing at Weis, I knew that I had to have him on. And now answering, after seeing that poll and the ways in which data and infrastructure and silos are really getting in the way of what you're doing, I really know that we really are on target in starting with Ron. Ron helped build the legendary loyalty and CRM program at Kroger and went on to S&H, Food City, and United Supermarkets. At Weis, he's spent the last 3 years building a data and marketing tech stack that is aimed not only at granular personalization, but at growing the shopping cart and the mix with an AI engine that's learning to know what customers want before they even know they want it. Ron, how are you today? Where do we find you? Oh, Ron, are you unmuted? I see you. Oh, we lost him. Did we lose Ron? There's Ron. Ron, can you hear me?
Hey, Steve, it looks like Ron's microphone may not be working.
Ron, we're not hearing you.
Can you hear me?
Oh, I can hear you faintly, Ron.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we got you. Ron, welcome.
Hello, how are you?
Hi, Ron. You're with me here in Pennsylvania. Where in Pennsylvania are you?
We're in central Pennsylvania. It's called Sunbury, PA, about an hour north of Harrisburg.
Well, I am going to hand it over to you because I know you have a lot to go through and a lot of detail about things that this audience in particular wants to know about. So with that, Ron Bonacci, take it away.
Thank you, Steve. Hopefully everyone can see my screen. Can somebody acknowledge?
We got it.
Can see you.
We got it.
Thank you very much. And hopefully you can hear me well enough. But just to get excited and tell you that I'm very, very thankful to be here and very appreciative for the opportunity to showcase a little bit about Weis Markets. We're a traditional grocery store out here in central Pennsylvania. And hopefully my slides will move. Come on, there we go. But let me first start with my career in the sense that I started with the Kroger company. I launched the Kroger Plus card, did all of the marketing for the Kroger company. And when we transitioned, we knew it was all about getting into customers' hands, that engagement with customers. Then we went into and moved into offers and coupons. We had to have some reason for that card, and that was to give some relevancy to the card. So we offered coupons and different offers for the consumers to get them shopping and keep them shopping in our stores. And believe it or not, it really parlayed itself, and I'll talk about that success. Then we actually launched fuel rewards with what we called Kroger's Cash for Gas. And we actually gave free gas away with coupons and offers and everything. We knew that the tie from gasoline to grocery stores was one-to-one because everyone had to have a car to get to the store. And we thought that was so relevant and very intuitive of what we wanted to do. And then finally, as we transitioned through the Kroger company, we brought in a company called dunnhumby that was formed in England, that we brought them in as dunnhumby USA, and they were an analytical powerhouse that I'll tell you the success factor of what they did for us in terms of the company overall. We were smart enough to know that it was all about the customer and how we had to transition to get customers engaged with us from a long-term basis. And what the shopper card gave to us in the Kroger Plus is we could plot those customers on a map. We could showcase where they were, and then we could target other people who weren't shopping with us and knew exactly what to do with those customers in terms of engaging them long-term and making them offers. So we had spotting maps, we knew exactly where we were, and we plotted with those customers. We then formed a lot of club programs. You may know we started out with our associates, and actually when we started engaging our associates, we saw a 1% increase in sales with our associates because we knew that if our associates were ambassadors to the campaign and the programs, that they would overall parlay into success. We launched fuel programs. We did the 3, 5, and 7 cents off at the fuel with your Kroger Plus card. That was more use for the card to be used. We launched baby clubs, we launched kids clubs, we launched pharmacy clubs, we launched seniors clubs, we launched school programs and pet clubs, all of which was engaging to the customer to make sure that they were totally engaged within the entire footprint of what Kroger's could offer, and making sure that we had that opportunity to showcase what we could do with Kroger's and the Kroger Plus card. Believe it or not, this might surprise everybody, but we used to send out coupons all the time. Kroger Plus card was launched in '97. And as you can see, this is a brochure that was published to the consumers, our best shoppers, in June, July of 2002. But I want to show you what happened in August and September of 2002. We went from a printed coupon to an electronic digital coupon. So believe it or not, Kroger's was digital in 2002, all of which was not talked about or heard about until just recently, when people have started to migrate to the digital footprint. But that's how far back the Kroger Plus card was, and in terms what we were doing with the leverage of Kroger's. However, Kroger's walked backwards. When we launched phase one with Kroger Plus card, we used our associates as the ambassadors and the power. We did communications, and obviously our register receipts were very key to that. As you can see, we circled on the register receipts how many points they earned, because it was a point-based system to accumulate to get offers and rewards. And then we launched all these club programs. But we knew we had to go a little bit further about that, because the roadmap was about data and how you utilize data for the long term. And so we took this leap of faith and hired this company called dunnhumby. They were over in Tesco. You can read their story on them back in the early 90s, where they actually propelled Tesco to the powerhouse that they were basically today. Within 3 years, they made them the #1 grocery chain in England. And we brought them over for dunnhumby USA and started utilizing the opportunity of the data. dunnhumby actually transitioned back to a in-print rather than digital coupon once they started their campaign with us, because they felt that the digital coupon, we wanted to watch each customers and see which coupons they were doing, which we could see anyway, but dunnhumby thought that was the best phase. And let me tell you the success that has parlayed on that. Kroger's has long held an opportunity to grow their sales, and they had 52 quarters, same-store sales growth year over year, starting back when we utilized the power of the data and the initiation with dunnhumby. That's how far back it went. Think about that. That's over 12 years of success factors. And again, it wasn't just dunnhumby. It was a lot of things that we put customers first, but big data led the way in terms of understanding and insights of what consumers were about. So let me pull you forward now to Weis Markets. Obviously, the discussion is that this is part of our company. And if you think we don't have competition, just look at this 5-mile ring around us. All the competition that we have, whether it's a convenience store, whether it's a drug mass, whether it's a dollar store, or whether it's traditional food stores, we have our fair share and then some. We're probably oversaturated in the grocery industry, as most cities are, and we're so much so that it's unfortunate that so many people want to exist in the same footprint. But that's how much competition we have today, which is why relevancy and technology and utilizing data was so critical to this company. We are a company that operates out of Pennsylvania, but we're in 7 states. We have 200 stores, 23,000 associates, and we're $4 billion in sales. We've had record over record sales growth, and 2020 was no exception because of the pandemic. As you know, most restaurants and convenience stores and the like had to close, and the grocery industry was a benefactor of that, so much so that the success kept parlaying on it. But the success is not just Weis Markets. We were actually pretty proud and privileged to be chosen. We won Best Place to Work in 2019 by the Shelby Griffin Report, which is one of those reports in the grocery industry that evaluates the industry and writes about it. And then, so we won Shelby's report for one of the best places to work. In 2020, we won the Certified Angus Beef. We carried one of the best quality beefs you can buy in America. It's in the top 3% of all beef sold is situated for CAB. They record that. And we won CAB's 2020 award for the best retailer in America. Shelby Report then went on to vote us Retailer of the Year in 2020 in the Northeast area. And we were showcased to accept the award to be one of the best grocery chains in the Northeast of the United States. And that is the purple section, as you can see up on any one of the maps you're looking at. We just received Forbes magazine, Best Small Companies, and believe it or not, even though you're $4 billion by Forbes, you're still considered small. And we won that award this year for 2021. And Shelby just released us as a Diversity, Equity, Inclusion Award for 2021, and that is for supporting equal opportunity of all races and creeds of people and not segregating of any type. So let me now talk about what we did and how we transitioned, and hopefully some of this parlays into your insights that you can ask questions and then maybe see what the success factors are for you. We reach 3.5 million people every week with our print, our TV, our media relationships. We do direct mailers when necessary. We reach about 450,000 unique users digitally each and every week. We do print, media, TV, radio. We do emails, we do text messages, and we're very heavily into sports marketing. So we're into NASCAR with the Dover track, Pocono track, and Watkins Glen. And then we're in major college footballs such as Penn State in the state of Pennsylvania and others. And we are very, very big in terms of local sponsorships, community events, and very charitable company in terms of engaging customers, because we believe about being local and being relevant in there. We were local before locals was ever cool. We started our company in 1912, so we're 108 years old, going on 109. And we have vendors and suppliers locally that's almost 100 years with us, so think about that. We have a very robust online e-commerce platform. We were actually launching and getting that deployed when COVID hit, so we were very, very lucky and fortunate. We have of our 200 stores, we have 183 online shopping. And then we also utilize Shipt today in 174 stores for their utilization and delivery. During the pandemic, we rose 267% on our online shopping. And after the pandemic settled out here in late summer and into the fall, we were about 154% increase in our e-commerce platform. So as people in transition to the e-commerce, they wanted to be safe and secure. We took advantage of that, as well as many other retailers throughout there. We have a mobile app that's very, very robust. It has a lot of insights for consumers, and we talk to consumers every week through our mobile app, where they can check their points, they can check status, they can look at their opportunity in what they want in terms of coupons and any relevant emails and correspondence we have. They stay on our website about 5 minutes on average session, and we're very proud that we have some stickiness that consumers are looking to in relationship to that. We have a nice rating in comparison to our competition, and we'll enjoy that as we continue to hopefully grow our footprint and our success factors with that. Today in our e-coupon platform, we actually decided we needed to be in the e-coupon space. We brought that to the consumer right to their hands, where they can touch it in the store and or look at an evaluation from consumers. Today we have 740,000 users. On average, we get a redemption between 7 and 10%. Some items redeem as high as 60 plus, but it depends upon the coupon and the offer and the reward. The average value is $1.14. And the freebies, we give Friday freebies, they average in the 40% range and sometimes even higher than that, but it depends on the item. As I said, we take it right to the shelf. So we actually create shelf tags where consumers can see that digital offer. We want them to understand that the CPG industry has products out there, and we want to bring that to the shelf and engage in the store with the consumers and showcase those items so they understand the relevancy, that those offers are there for them and take advantage of, and it's free. Why not take advantage of those free items that's there every day, and you're buying those items. So right to shelf, they scan the QR code and they got those offers before they ever leave the store. Right at the register, it discounts that item. We also look at and data mine every one of the consumer shopping behavior. Once you have a Weis Rewards card, we call it relevancy. So we target and personalize every offer, every website, every email blast to the consumers. We make sure that everything we do is relevant to their purchase history, and then sometimes lack of purchase history. You know, we all know that everyone buys bath tissue, or we hope they do, and there may be some customers that, surprise, aren't buying bath tissue in our stores, but they're our top shoppers. And so we have to convey some offers and rewards in order to make that happen. So we actually target them through all opportunities that are relevant to drive their purchase history and engage those customers for what we call a lifetime value of a customer in their shopping behavior. We have continued to digitally transform our company and make this more of a digital footprint. We want them to stay connected through us and all keep us top of mind in everything that they're doing. So when they're shopping, they know that we're going to give them the best discounts, the best offers, the best rewards, and engage them on a weekly basis for their shop. On average, the customers are in our stores 1.2 times per week. So we take advantage of all those opportunities to talk to customers, whether it's in store, and we have extremely high scores on consumer intercepts, where our cashiers, our store personnel are engaging customers, and our customer satisfaction scores are extremely high. We also engage online, as I earlier mentioned, from social media and digiting. We do Facebooks, we do Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Pinterest, and we do a lot of offers and rewards in that. We do a lot of sweepstakes and contests to keep customers engaged. We also showcase their last weekly shopping experience. We give them their holiday reward shopping list. So if you're coming back in for Thanksgiving, you know what you bought last year at Thanksgiving time. Because we keep that list for you so you can go back and review it and say, hey, yeah, I want to keep that item again, or you can adjust those and make any changes to that. So you can make a manual shopping list, you can use a shopping list we gave you, or you can look at a shopping list that you had previously shopped that we keep online for you to keep you as best knowledgeable for your shopping experience and your families. And we stay connected. So talk about big data and why data is so important. Yes, we have dunnhumby in our company. Of course, they're a global leader in data science, but dunnhumby actually looks at price elasticity and category management and how that price and item parlays itself into the consumer success factors of how they would buy the item. Also, we have Oracle. We have Oracle on site, and you know them to be a big data provider. We use the Oracle Data Cloud as well as they're our data warehouse, and we use them for scalable in terms of looking at customers and slicing, dicing them in many different ways. We also have Symphony EYC in here, and they are our customer integrated, looking at category management, our planograms, and also how that customer experience actually parlays into some sales success as category managers view the value of what consumers are looking for. So a category manager today can look at his or her desk and see what customers are buying, not what products are selling, but what customers are buying, and see how that's relevant to the overall basket size. So if I'm going to delete an item, I want to know who's buying that item that I may delete because of slow sales. And lastly, we have Bird's Eye in here, which is an AI platform that does a lot of one-to-one relevancy for our email blasts, for our websites, and does many other things from an authentic engagement to the customer to make sure that it's real-time, relevant, one-to-one. And in the grocery industry, AC Nielsen and IRI are on site too, and we use their information as they publish all of that in the grocery industry. So how does that look to us? So we have several ways in which we look at customers. This happens to be one of the Oracle design names of core, opportunity, and fringe. And we take those and segregate customers, and now that's how we market to customers from different bucket levels to make sure that we're meeting the relevancy of those buckets in which customers apply. And I'll just give you the first one, like core is 19% of households, but they account for 65% of sales. And you'll find that in most loyalty marketing campaigns in any retailer, there is a certain subset that is significant in sales, but yet their household count is much diminished in terms of counts. And then we have these opportunity and fringe. Another way we look at our customers is the premier customer. We have a gold club. So we have a preferred shopper card gold club for our top shoppers. And we look at them in a different way. And then we have secondary customers and then tertiary customers. We have a preferred shopper card for all other customers who use. And then when we engage these customers over this period of time, you can see our customer household count increased 1.5% and our sales increased 3.1%. As we engage them they actually outspend what they would typically spend on average, and it pays off in dividends in terms of the relationship of how customers see us. We also subdivide customers when we go down that core. We look at households, we look at their nets, we look at their spend per household, we look at their trip value, we look at what value they have, and how many times they're in a store per week. And there's just a whole host of dashboards of insights that we gain from our customers. And that then nets out how we target those customers on an ongoing basis. And then we actually see how customers are migrating. Are they going up in their spending, down in their spending? What shift and where are they shifting to, and what brand value do they offer to us? We know if they're buying our private brands that they're going to be more engaged. And by the way, over almost 80% of our customers are buying our private brands on a regular basis. Then we subdivide those down in when we make decision makings. It's based on sales and the households, and then how you parlay that into trips and categories, and we weigh a lot of factors in terms of meeting those customers and what percent ratios and how that should be dialed, because we all live on budgets, and those budgets make a difference in terms of what our spend is and how we spend it. So when you go to your mobile device, or you go to our website, there's these dashboards that you have that looks at your rewards, looks at your spending, tells you what status you are, and then gives you all the offers and items of which what your preferences are, as well as what you're eligible for, that you can unlock, like a free ham down on the right side. So you automatically earn that. We want to give that to you, and then all you got to do is unlock it, and you'll be able to get those items that you would like. Then we drill down into the categories from a customer perspective. We mail some things. We look at redemption. We see how it is. You can see in most cases, our redemption on our direct mailers is in the 20s and 30% on most items. And then we drill into the items by category, by month, and see what are the value proposition in relationship to that item in the consumer baskets, and how that holistically averages. So when you look at what happens incrementally, just take our gold card customers. These are your top shoppers, as I mentioned earlier. But when you target those people, they actually incrementally added more dollars than the past months before them. They give us an ROI of almost 8 to 1. For every dollar we spend on them, they give us back a 7.9 ratio, and their average spending goes up $37, and their engagement rate is through the roof, and incrementally they give us it. So when we look at customer insights today, we have our gold card, we have our marketing endeavors. We look at all different ways of which we would target and customers on a long-term basis and short-term basis. And then we always put customer first. How do we target that customer and keep that engagement over the lifetime value of that customer? And hopefully they'll stay with us for a long term. And then tomorrow, we're looking at how do we integrate pricing and make it personalized to that consumer. So what is the price elasticity of that customer, and how would I make that more enticing to that customer to buy those items, or grow a greater depth, what we call depth and breadth of the store. They're going down 3 aisles. Now we want them to go down 5 or 6 because there's other products and services we want to offer them. And that's really where we're trying to get to in the whole relevancy of looking at the whole holistic customer experience. We also have embedded in our database things like psychographic and demographic information that will hopefully will parlay that into success, because we understand what the interest value of those consumers are, and as well as having a different opportunity for their pets, their babies, their kids, and those kind of things that make it sense. And I'm proud to say that Weis Markets, if you go back 26 quarters, 25 out of 26 quarters, we had probably the best in the industry for same-store sales growth year over year. The only quarter we did not was when Easter fell into the first quarter, was in March instead of the second quarter, which threw off every grocery store industry in the industry because it fell in a different quarter. And that was the only time that we did not meet same-store sales growth quarter over quarter, year over year. And with that, I'll pause and stop, and thank you for the opportunity. And if there's time for questions, I'll certainly take those.
Well, we definitely have questions for you, Ron. That was great. And why don't we get right to the questions so they can ask you. First, we have Rachel Peterson. She has a question for you. Go ahead, Rachel. see. Rachel, you there? All right, let me go to Rachel, if you can situate yourself. And Diego has a question as well, and I can ask you that for him. He wanted to know, do you test these efforts against a core control group of each of the different customer segments and to understand lift or driven by the marketing?
That's a great question. Yes, we do. We actually have control groups. We keep out a segment of anywhere between 5 and 10%, depending upon which one it is. We use that evaluation. Plus, we also use the people that we're targeting past purchase history, and then we evaluate both to get our ROI. So we know whether it was conducive for the timing of the season, as well as what the consumers have done at this time when we make that offer.
That's great. Okay, so now Dan Williams from 3 Day Blinds, he has a question for you as well. Go ahead, Dan.
Yeah, I was wondering if you're, for example, deal seekers, are you trying to move people into your core group, or are you okay with people being in fringe and opportunity, just marketing to those groups differently, or are you trying to move people to core?
Oh, that's a great question. Well, if you ever, there's the books on dunnhumby, and if you read the books on dunnhumby, it's always reward the customer for their purchase history of who they are and give them incentives to upgrade them. So if you looked at my past in Kroger's, we actually give you 4 rewards that are rewards for your basket of what you buy. And then we incentivize you with 2 offers to try and get you to trade up, if you will. And as we look and evaluate customers when we do that, we actually give more offers than the dunnhumby days. But if they take advantage of those other offers and insights, then we know that you're conducive to move up the ladder, and we start targeting you in a greater fashion.
Okay, and we have one more here from Ray Adamson. Ray, go ahead.
Hi, Ron. Thanks for your time. We've seen a growing trend of retailers bringing more and more operations in-house and kind of moving away from a blind agency reliance. Do you guys just rely on your agency partners and the platforms that they select, or do you bring some operations in-house and work with groups like a Citrusat or GAM or something along those lines?
We do both. That's a great question, Ray. We do use Citrus today. If you go to our website, and they power some of our CPG industry advertising. We allow third parties to play a role, but we screen all those to make sure that it's makes perfect sense to the consumer. And when in Citrus's case that you mentioned, it has to be irrelevant. So when Citrus comes across, let's just say it's Skippy peanut butter, that consumer has to buy peanut butter, not necessarily Skippy. We'll post that up through Citrus. And yes, we work with Inmar from a coupon perspective, Catalina through a coupon perspective on our registers, and we'll play with third parties where we can add value back to the consumer, because we think the consumer wins at the end of the day if we can give them as much value as possible.
Thanks.
All right, well, thank you, Ron. That was awesome. That was such a great presentation. Really appreciate that, and for you taking the time to be with us today.
Well, thank you, Lisa, and thank you everyone for the opportunity to address you.